Hello, welcome to Wednesday Night Chat. I might be doing a solo show tonight. It has been a long time since I done a solo show. Been so long that I'm used to have Anthony or Patrick or both of them, or even Dr. Vanchilla. But tonight might be my first solo Wednesday night in a long time. So we are here doing a solo show. For now, maybe Patrick, maybe Dr. Von Schiller will pop in. Maybe, but for sure, Anthony is out. He contacted me earlier to tell me that he is not going to be able to make it today.
Where's the dog?
Yes, I used to do a solo for almost 2 years. I was doing a solo show every Wednesday. There was a time, for those that remember on my channel, I did a solo show on Wednesday and then a solo show on Sunday. 2 shows a week. That was a bit too much. So I scaled down to just one show on Wednesday by myself, and then eventually I added the other dudes. Hello, Dave. Hello, Who Dat, 71 Kings, Brian Spaceboy, Scott, Eric, Knights of Old, Paco Rizzo. Paco Rizzo, quick question there. Yes, X-Men 107, for those that know that book, is the one where it's a very tough book to find in high grade because of the production tear by the staple. Insanely difficult. I regret selling my 9.8 years ago. I bought a Bronze Age collection, and in there was a bunch of new John Byrne X-Men Bronze books, and one of them was a 9.8 X-Men 107 that I slapped and then I sold it. This is before I realized how hard it was to find another copy. You know, one of those things where I don't regret selling the book, but I regret not knowing that it was such a difficult book. Otherwise, I would have asked for a lot more money. Hello, Cougar. Shannon is here as well. Solid. My bad. But Shannon is here. Yes. But that book has first Dave Cockrum introduced a massive amount of character in that book. Okay, but the one character that probably jumped out would be Gladiator. Okay, for sure. So that's the one character. But if Marvel ever go cosmic with the X-Men Mutant Universe with the Dark Phoenix saga 3 years down the road, you might see a lot of those characters. You might see a lot of those characters appear in the cosmic universe because they are pretty cool. Great cover as well. But before I go, I want to answer one question from a viewer. He was asking. Let's see if I can find a slab.
I have the head for the.
He was asking how to get rid of the Newton rings, the rainbow thing, the Newton ring on the slab. And my comment to him is it a new slab or an old slab?
You know what I mean?
If it is an old slab, if you own multiple slabs, like different generation, by new, I mean the last year and a half, okay, not 3 years ago. 3 years ago is not new. But the newer slab that had been around for a year and a half, I think, they seal the side too, okay? The side is sealed as well. There's no way to get into the side, but any generation before 2 years ago, you can see. Okay, you can see that I put my fingernail right through that, and I can flex the slab
And the Frost
open like this. If you can do that, you can slide something, a piece of paper, a piece of mylar in here to separate the cover from the plastic to remove the Newton ring. Okay, that's how you do it. And if you want to see a video that I did that as far as a tip, it is
nice try.
Just search ETA Nick tips and tricks. Okay, because it's under the tips and trick category, and you will see a video where I show you how I slide a piece of mylar into between the slab to separate the inner well from the plastic to remove the Newton ring effect. So hopefully that answered your question. Whoever, I can't recall the name on top of my head. Brian Spaceboy said, Nick, I sold 95% of my collection. What? You sold all your X-Men? Say it's not so. I kept my horror magazine collection, including Dracula #3 that I gave him. Wow. Oh, you sold your X-Men run? That, what? Say what? I'm surprised. Wow. May I ask, what did you use the money for? If you don't mind, I ask. Because that's it's a big task to put together that collection. So hopefully you put the money to good use.
I'm not carrying the Batman guy.
Thank you, Eric. Hello, another comic book channel. Saw you alive and had to stop and say, hey, yes, hello. So that was one question out of the way. I got a couple other questions. Nice of Old emailed me a question. I will answer it, even though the other guys are not here, and then I will likely repeat the question. Oh, Brian Spaceboy to help his mother is the reason for him selling his X-Men run. Well, good for you. Comic book is one thing. Family is more important. Avenger 85, is that the beginning? Is Avenger 85, help me here as far as the significance of that book. It's not the beginning of the Kree and Skrull war, right? I don't believe that's the beginning. I could be wrong, but if it is, let me know. But before we go on to Nice of Old question, I will see if there's anything else. Let me check my email. For Squad Supreme, I don't know about being undervalued on that one, since I don't know if the Squad Supreme will ever enter the movie universe. And to be honest, I think the movie craze, for the most part, I'm not saying it's gone away, okay? But I feel like more now than ever, the movie hype has slowed down significantly. Okay, I could be wrong, but from maybe YouTube is that way. Maybe it's only on YouTube that we see a slowdown, because less channels are making less videos now more than ever. 5 years ago, for those that remember 5 years ago, oh my God, you couldn't have a week after a Flash TV show or Arrow TV show and people was going crazy, hyping all kind of first appearances. So there was a time where YouTube was filled with videos on like must get C and D listers. It was insane. It was insane. Okay. I remember turn on YouTube 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And my God, Killer Frost this, Firestorm that, it was just nonstop. Everybody got to get this hot book alert. So yeah, So now, as far as the future, okay, think about this. I'm sure many people may not have heard, but for Daredevil season 3, for those that have not heard, this news come out at San Diego Comic-Con, I believe. But Typhoid Mary is going to be in Daredevil season 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is there any video on YouTube of people saying, get that first appearances, get that first Typhoid Mary first appearances in Daredevil? I had the book. I just never bothered to pull it up for this, but I don't see it. I don't see people having 10 copies and say, oh my God, I'm gonna get rich off this. But at the same time, you still see some level of speculation, right?
I didn't see
For
him.
sure, the one
You
book
see it, maybe,
is
yes.
Eternal
But you
number
see it.
1. You know, Eternal number 1 is one of the few books that still get a lot of hype, okay? But there's a lot of books that are kind of being pushed aside, maybe not on YouTube. Maybe it's only silence on YouTube, but it's still hot on eBay. Okay, not that I check on eBay to know what the heck is going on with Typhoid Mary. To me, it's a $5 book. You know, so I have my near mint copy or very fine plus. Does it matter?
It's not smart. Why would you want those?
Let's see what else. Okay, so let's go to the question of Knights of Old. Okay, I have a bunch of other questions. Some of the questions I might wait until next week when other guys are in the chat, because I think you would want to hear the opinion of Anthony and Patrick beside just me. I don't mind answering them now and ask them the question again. So I might do that. Let's see. Knights of O asked a question. Basically, he said, you know, sometimes sacrificing a much-loved keeper is needed and necessary to fund a higher grail. Okay. Yes, many of us have had to do that. We have to sell something to buy something, or sell a bunch of things to save up to buy something big, right? But how? Basically, he wants to know, you know, how to eliminate regrets. What's best to go through your mind to ease your mind as far as, you know, knowing that you are doing the right thing, right? Because it's not easy, you know, selling something that you thought is a keeper or a minor grail. I hate to use the word grail because I agree with Patrick that, you know, grail is one book. I have one grail. So, you know, for some people they have many grails. For me, it's one, but it's never easy to save up. Okay, so I can tell you my mental exercise. Okay, and this is just me. Okay, not okay. For those that follow my channel, yes, at one point I own an X-Men 1 9.0. At one point, okay, I own it. I own Amazing Fantasy 15 6.5. Yes, I own that. I own a Hulk 1 5.0. I own another X-Men 1 8.5. Give you an example. Okay, so I own a lot of high-grade Silver Age keys. But in 2010, I decided that I want to go for my grail. Okay, my grail. And even though I love every single one of those books, especially my X-Men 1 9.0. Love that book. Beautiful book. Scott has seen it. I have shown Scott a scan of that book many times, I think, at least once or twice. Beautiful book. Beautiful book. How I reason in my mind and reconcile it so that I don't regret selling all of those books was that I know that by selling all of those books to raise the cash to buy the Grail, the Holy Grail, is the right thing to do because I can replace every single one of those books because they come up quite often. Okay, they might be expensive, but they do exist in the wild. Okay, you can go on eBay, my comic shop right now, and see. I think there's a copy of Amazing Fantasy 15 6.5 for sale, as well as a Hook 1 5.0.
No,
It's out there.
Flying, apparently.
But to get an Action 1 in 2010 at the price that I can pay,
lagging, bro.
how often does that happen?
I'm lagging.
So for me, it's about
oh my God,
raising the cash to buy something that is very hard to obtain, because whatever I'm selling, it's much easier to replace later. So that's how I get over my regrets of selling all those books, because I'm just like, I can always replace them. But if there was a chance for me to buy an Action 1 7 years ago, 8 years ago, that was the time. I didn't know when I was gonna buy it. I figured that I'm gonna put together a war chest, raise enough cash so that if a copy show up, I can bid with confidence that I can pay for it. So yeah, it's but that's it. I always, when people ask me the same question, I always said that you have to be able to sell something even if you love it, but if that book can be easily replaced. Okay, if you sell an Amazing Fantasy 15, there are dozens of copies available at any one point, right? So it's not like you're never gonna see another copy again. So yeah, I would say that at the end of the day, it's about selling something that is easy to replace. Selling something that is hard to replace, that's a different story. I would not recommend anyone to sell something that I know is tough to replace, because they will regret it. Whatever book it is that is hard to replace, I would not recommend selling it, because I think the regret level will be high and for a long time. AG Surfer question, where's the dudes? Anthony is busy doing something with his wife and son. He did email me earlier today to say that he cannot make it. And then Patrick is still busy with the move. For those that don't know, he's moving, packing, all kind of stuff. He bought a home, spent Patrick has only been on once in the past 5 weeks, I think. If I can remember right, he only been on once in the past 5 weeks, because he spent most of his free time working on his new purchase home, the one that he bought. He did a lot of renovation, and then now he's moving, he's packing, plus he sold the house that he lived in. So he's a busy man. The last thing he can do is show up here, because I'm sure packing and moving and cleaning and all that stuff is way above the priority list. As far as Dr. Banchilla, I can't tell you what's going on. For all I know, Dr. Banchilla can be taking a nap. Yes, Knights of O. Yeah, I would not think twice to sell many of my Silver Age keys. Okay, if somebody tell me right now, Nick, you can buy a Detective 27, low grade, could be a 1.0. If that book exists right now, I would not hesitate 1 second to blow out 20 Silver Age keys that I have to buy that one book. Not hesitate once. Okay, if it's in the budget, if the math works out where I can sell, my 20 Silver Age keys and use that cash to buy the Tech 27, done. No hesitation, because another Detective 27 in that price range would likely not gonna show up anytime soon. Meanwhile, every single one of my Silver Age keys can be replaced like that. No, it's not. No hesitation on my part. Let's see. Oh, Cougar is here as well. Yes, Cougar. Hello, Cougar. Let's see if I have other question. So as far as I'll for sure leave me the comment here. Like, I try to keep up with the comments in the comment thing, but a lot of time it go fast and I don't have time to read them. But I like to hear what other people's opinion is as far as the speculation market with the first appearances with relation to movies and TV. Is it me, or am I correct in saying that there is a definite slowdown in that? I'm not saying that it's all gone, okay? But I don't see anybody yapping about Supergirl is gonna be in a movie. You gotta go get the first appearance of Supergirl. Okay. In many ways, it's a good thing. Okay, I have said this a long time. If you're in this hobby for that, nothing wrong with that. But eventually, it get old. Okay, it get old, because if it didn't get old, why don't we see all the people that was hyping Apocalypse first appearances, making videos on all the new stuff? Cloak and Dagger. Does anybody even talk about Cloak and Dagger first appearance on YouTube? Right? So yeah, there is a definite change in the YouTube community as far as people talking about hyping about first appearances. It's not a bad thing. Okay, I always said that, it's fine if that's how you want to collect, but I don't see how that can continue indefinitely. It's for some people it works, as in Eric say right here, love what you collect and collect what you love. Absolutely. I think at the end of the day, one of the worst things about social media is the influence on how one's collect. There is no question, how some people approach this hobby are influenced by social media. Okay, that's why they call social media star influencer, right? I'm sure I'm sure some people here have heard the term influencers. That's what they call Instagram big shots, Facebook big shots, or YouTube big shots. Influencers. Okay, so there is no question there are a segment of collectors out there that are followers. Okay. Woo. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being a follower, but that's why they call some people are titled influencers. I don't influence anyone. I'm not missing anything. I am not influencing anyone. Brad, I agree. I mean, I think I think if you're in this and it's exciting, as far as speculation and making $10 and $50 or whatever it is you can make on flipping a hot book, it's fun for a while, but eventually you will hit a bad spot where things turn on you, right? Because you know how this hobby is. You know how the hot market can turn cold real quickly. Next thing you know, you sit with a short box of Apocalypse first appearances that you thought you're gonna get rich on, and you don't. Next thing you know, you say, forget that, I'm gonna go and have a beer. It's more fun at the bar than sitting around watching YouTube video and talking about hot books. Yeah, it's like I said, there is no argument that one can make money in this hobby. Okay, but there's a lot of money to be made. It's just that, if you know what you're doing, you don't need to be influenced by anyone else to pick the right book, right? Absolutely, Eric. If you want to get rich, I said this in other chat. If you want to get rich, invest, trade, play in the stock market or somewhere else. Okay. Rich people, I don't know anybody that become a millionaire or billionaire flipping comic books. Okay. I don't. Not to say that people don't make a living. There's plenty of dealers that have been selling, buying for 30 years and supporting their family. That's a different story. Okay. But at the same time, I don't know any dealer that are multi-millionaire driving Maserati.
I almost gained a legion.
Okay, so there might be a few, but I don't know any. Okay, let me see if I can get to the other question now that I've been yapping for half an hour.
Your time is so quick.
If I don't get
oh my God,
if I don't get to your question, my apology, because I try my best to check all my emails.
Dude, no.
And at time I may have missed a few, and then
yeah, I should not have.
There was a question last week that I missed last week that I will answer here. The question was CVA. Okay. For all of you that follow Comic Link auction, occasionally you see a little sticker that say CVA. And this idea, I believe, came out in 2010 or 2011. I'm trying to remember. It's been 7 years or so. It was started by a few ex-Comic Link employee, or I think, if I'm wrong, correct me. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. Basically, you pay $5. You send them the book. Okay, they basically partner with Comic Link. You send them a slab. You pay $5.
No, it's not.
See this face? You pay $5 for someone, for a dude, to examine that slab and determine that it has good eye appeal. It looked better than the grades. Yeah. Basically, it's saying overbid this book because it might be upgradable. Oh, such nonsense. Such nonsense. And the definition of good eye appeal is, I remember when they first launched the service and they slapped CVA on a couple poorly miswrapped books. It was stupid. What eye appeal is that? On a crooked wrap? Here you are talking about eye appeal, and you put the damn sticker on a book that have a miswrap, crooked wrap. Are you kidding me? And even more stupid, as I talked about a few times, you put a sticker, a CVA sticker on a 9.8. Huh? Does a 9.8 need a sticker that says that this is good looking? It has good eye appeal? Who is paying $5 for that? Seriously. Woo! Stupid. Yes, so I have no idea how many people actually pay money to get that stickers. Yes, Brian Spaceboy, if you say it's dumb regarding CVA, yes, it is absolutely. I mean, I see, the only time that I see CVA sticker is on Comic Link auction, because like I said, the company was started by either an ex or an employee of Comic Link. Knights of O asks, will Golden Age see huge gains as a new collectors finish their Silver Age grails? Good questions. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Golden Age is a big monster, okay? I think Golden Age, you have to go with the more known stuff, like, of course, you know, the Batman, the Superman, the Wonder Woman, Detective. I can see that. But how much, I don't know. The keys, no doubt. We already see that with the keys, okay? The Golden Age keys are not cheap, not by any means. You know, even for many low-grade books, you're talking 2.0, they still go for thousands of dollars. So I can see, you know, some collectors that finish all their Silver Age books and then have a desire to get some of the, like some, let's say, for example, Reaper, okay? Anthony, you know, he might want to go and get the origin of, I know one of his Grail book is The Origin of Joker, Detective 168, I think, okay? The Red Hat cover. So I can see something like that, but I don't see a situation where, you know, a lot of Golden Age books are cool to have, but they are just not.
He's level 4. He's in level.
They are not keys. You know, I think that if you're a key collector, which is a lot of collector now, if you're a key collector, you will chase down keys, Golden Age keys. So I can see some movement in Golden Age keys, but that's still tough because a lot of Golden Age keys are already so expensive. It's not like the situation like, you know, like Fantastic Four #1, you know, a 3.0 was 3,000 2 years ago. Now it's 10,000. There's not that many equivalent in the Golden Age where, you know, you see a book that is undervalued and then all of a sudden now it can triple, because a lot of Golden Age books are already so expensive, especially keys. So will it move the needle a little bit? Sure, I can see that. I just don't see a huge spike. I could be wrong. Hey, if I'm wrong, it would put more money in my pocket. I'm not complaining if Action 1 rise higher, or Detective 31 or Batman 1 rise higher. The evil laugh. You know, since I had them all. Let me see if I'm way off on the chat. I mean, every time I talk and don't look at the chat, I lose space. Hello, HME3 and Nerd Vision, welcome.
It does, and so does my soup can. When I'm Legion.
Original art is a different beast. You know, the original art is a scary area for me. You know, I love original arts. I own plenty, but it's an area where, you know, whenever someone asks me about original art, I'm always very reluctant to tell them to buy something because it's illiquid, much more illiquid than a comic book, right? To sell original art is not as easy as selling a Hulk 181. There's a definitely smaller market, and the volatility in the prices are all over the place. Hello, Deadpool. And for those that may have missed it, I talked about this in quite a few videos, but I talked about this. I exchanged a few emails with someone last week or something
He
about,
just smoke for his
you know,
Coco Macros.
original arts,
He's also
and
Coco Macros.
I'm sure this person already knew it, but I
swear he's
wrote
also
down
Coco
something
Macros.
for him, and I'm
That is
sure
also
he knew it
that is
already, but I
also
will
Coco
repeat it
Macros.
here for those that don't know.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was me. I said he had Coco Macros.
when it comes down to original arts,
There was no recoil on this gun.
you got to go with, you know, the hierarchy of value is cover, splash page, and then action page with the hero and villain. Okay, you want that. If not, below that you would have, you know,
Yeah.
page with the hero or the villain. Okay, and then on the bottom would be the page without the hero or villain. Okay, those are the cheapest page. So whenever you're looking at a piece of original art and you're trying to compare, the best you can do is go to like heritage database, look at something equivalent. Okay, that's the key. Equivalent. It's sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes occasionally I find a piece that have been auctioned off on heritage 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 8 years ago. Then you can see what it was sold for back then. But a lot of times that don't exist because it's the first time, or it was exchanged somewhere else where there was no price recorded. So the best thing you can do is find an equivalent thing, and even then, that's not easy.
Oh my! You just said it was ace.
Even then, it's not easy to find equivalent because even when you have two covers, right? Even if you like Spider-Man 50, I mean, it's gonna be wicked hard to find another cover to compare prices, you know, because it's Iron Man, not Iron Man, Spider-Man 50. Does Spider-Man 51 covers have any relation to the cover of 50? Absolutely not. 50 is an iconic cover. So there's a lot of nuances in pricing original art that is very difficult. That's why when it comes down to original arts, my advice has always been, you know, buy what you really want, buy the artists that you really like. And if you're lucky, it's a good investment. I don't know if it can be, you know, I know some guys are crazy about that stuff and they can't wait to buy. My only advice is it's so easy to buy. Wait until you sell, and then you see how hard it is to sell. That's all I'm saying. You know, everybody that think original art is a great investment. My first question is, have you tried to sell anything that you own? So I don't know. Okay, if you want, for all the guys that email me about original art, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying that tread very carefully. Very carefully. Let's see. Ben is here. Hello, Ben. Lord Tatman, hello. Welcome to the chat. It is 7:40 on my clock, so we got another 20 minutes to go. Wicked hard. Okay, that's my Boston accent. Wicked hard. I'm not sure if that sounds like a Boston accent, but wicked hard. Okay, let's see. I got a bunch of other questions. And once again, I will ask the guys next week if they're around, because I'm sure people that ask this question like to hear other people's opinion more so than mine. But one of the questions was, what would I choose to put my money? Okay, if I have money to buy an Amazing Fantasy 15 or a Spider-Man 1, what would I choose right now? Not an easy question to answer. tough question to answer. Okay, so Spider-Man 1. If you asked me this question 2 years ago, no brainer. A year ago, no brainer, right? Everyone would have said go with the Spider-Man 1 because it's so much cheaper than the Amazing Fantasy 15. All that has changed. Okay, all that has changed. Spider-Man 1 now is crazy high, as well as Amazing Fantasy 15, crazy high. So, if I had to make a choice, my answer is Amazing Fantasy 15. Because Spider-Man 1 has run up so much. It has, I wouldn't say it caught up, okay? I don't think there's any way Spider-Man 1 can caught up to Amazing Fantasy 15 because Amazing Fantasy 15 is first introduction. Spider-Man 1 is just Spider-Man 1. That's like saying, is Superman 1 ever going to catch up to Action 1? No, it's never going to happen. Just like Batman 1 will never catch up to Detective 27. Never going to happen. But given how high Spider-Man 1 has jumped in the past 6 months, no way would I want to buy that book. Okay. I bought a low grade one 3 months ago, but it's a low grade 0.5 in a collection. Different story. Marvel the Crusade go with Spider-Man 2. I go with Spider-Man 2 to 17. Okay, any of those books between 2 and 17 are good buy, great buy, because those are Steve Ditko greatest, in my opinion. From 1 to 17, awesome. So skip 1, buy 2 to 17. And get Amazing Fantasy 15 before you get Spider-Man 1, if you have the money. The other question that was asked from the same person is, if I have the money, once again, would I buy Amazing Fantasy 15 or would I put that in the stock market?
We need to reinforce right here.
You see that face? Stock market. Oh, you know that's my first love. Okay. For those that follow the stock market, if you don't, let me say this: the stock market is near all-time high.
Bam. #Holy.
Yes, the stock market, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500 is near all-time high. The Nasdaq broke the record last week with Apple becoming the first 1 trillion company. Woo! The S&P is literally 1% below the all-time high. Amazing Fantasy 15 is at the all-time high as well. So is it a coincidence that collectible is mirroring the stock market? Some people may disagree. Brian Spaceboy, you want to see my Spider-Man 1? I have it on the wall. I can pull it out. It's a low grade. It's a 0.5. I have shown it. If you haven't watched my video, I actually did a spotlight on that book by itself. So instead of me pulling it out, you should watch Silver Age Spotlight Spider-Man 1. I think that's the name of the video, where I show the entire book page by page, cover to cover. Okay, so close up. My answer was, given that both things are at the all-time high, like Amazing Fantasy 15 is near the all-time high, the stock market is at the all-time high, my answer is keep the cash.
I love that slash.
Okay, keep the cash. I don't feel easy about the stock market right now. You know, just because the stock market is at all-time high does not mean that I'm predicting doom and gloom and crash. But under the circumstance where we are as far as economy, I can go into a long and boring discussion about economics and all that stuff. But given where we are right now and where we can be as far as the country and economy 6 months from now, I don't feel good about where the stock market is. That being said, if you think you're going to keep that money for 10 years, why not? Okay, 10 years from now, the stock market would likely be higher. The same can be with Amazing Fantasy 15, but how high can Amazing Fantasy 15 go 10 years from now? I don't know. I'm more confident trading the stock market. In all honesty, if you give me 20 grand, I'd rather put that in a stock market than buy an Amazing Fantasy 15. But that's just me. Okay, I'm not saying that's a right thing or wrong thing. I'm just saying for me, I don't mind trading the stock market. I'm a trader. Okay, so of course, this person that asked the question was like, aren't you worried about losing money in the stock market? It's given. If you trade stocks, you will have bad trades as well as good trades. And hopefully, if you're a good trader like me, who've been around the block a few decades, you have more good trades over bad trades, or you won't be around. Trust me, if I keep losing money on every trade, I won't be sitting here. I'd be working at McDonald's. David Valdez said, I have 15 grand. I'm sitting on thinking about Amazing Fantasy 15 or Hook 181. My advice is sit on that cash and enjoy that cash, because either way, you can pick up a copy. I can tell you, a YouTuber, you might see a video this weekend, just pick up an Amazing Fantasy 15. I'm not going to say the grade. He'd been in contact with me for a few weeks looking for a copy, and he found a copy 10% below GPA. Okay, for those that know the market, on big keys like that, and you can get it 10% below GPA, hallelujah. So would I say don't buy an AF-15? No. If you know how to get, if you can find a good deal like this YouTuber did, 10% below GPA, it's a no-brainer. Do it, right? Because how often do you see, how often can you get an Amazing Fantasy 15 10% below GPA? How often can you do that? How lucky can you be, right? As far as Hook 181, yeah, I would pick Amazing Fantasy 15 over Hook 181. Yes, I would. Yes, David, wait for a good deal. Look, I can tell you, if you talk to Anthony Repotate, and then when this YouTuber load his video, I don't want to spoil his grand reveal, but you will see it. Hopefully by this weekend. I want help. Because he got the book 2 days ago. He bought the book 2 or 3 days ago. Go farther away. So I would say, really far. If you, and he worked hard. He exchanged emails with me for a good 2 months. No. A few copies slipped through his hands, but I'm glad he didn't chase. Okay, he has a mindset of how much he's willing to buy, how much he's willing to pay, and he bid just at the point of his tolerance, and he let many copies go by, and then he found a copy 10% below GPA, and he pulled the trigger. Good for him. Yeah, I like to hear a story like that. I love to hear a story like that, because it's not every day that you can land an Amazing Fantasy 15 10% below GPA. Let me repeat that. Parker Rizzo asked, Nick, I have been pressing for 3 months and I can't tell after the process is completed. That works. I can't tell after the process is completed, meaning defects gone, but no signs of the press. How many books are pressed out there?
Hello.
Well, Parker Rizzo, a lot. Okay, a lot of books are pressed. Good presser can press a book
But
and it will look great. If you press long enough, you should be able to spot some books. I'm not saying all books, okay? Some books you can't tell if it have been pressed or not, and some books you can't. It's not. Hey, if you are pressing, obviously a lot of other people are pressing. It's no dirty little secret anymore. It's not rocket science. I'm sure the people that hate pressing hate to hear that, because that's the last thing they want to hear is every John, Dick, and Harry out there are pressing their own books. The horror. But it's not hard. It's not rocket science. If you ever iron clothes, and I think most people have, unless you are a millennium that have never have to iron a shirt or pants. But if you have ever ironed something in your life, you likely understand the same concept. It's not that far from ironing a wrinkled shirt or pants. Daniel asked, was that book graded? Yes, it was in a slab. And he has a great story to tell. I'm not sure if he will tell the story. I hope he does. I hope he tell the story of how he drove and met the person and blah blah blah, all that stuff. I'm not gonna spoil his story, but it's a very worthwhile story to listen to. It's not just like, oh, I bought this book off eBay. No. There's a lot more to it. But yes, it's in a slab and it's 10% below GPA. I'm so proud. Yes. Not that I did anything, but I'm proud to see another collector land a big grail for a good price. Gold School said, I don't want to know if books I buy are pressed. If they look very good with no sign, it's fine with me. I am in the same boat. I don't mind pressing. I don't mind buying books that are pressed. If someone asks me if I press a book that I'm trying to sell, I always disclose. Often I disclose without even ask. If you follow my channel enough, and you see a lot of my sales video, you can tell a lot of those books could easily be cleaned and pressed, right? Many of the books that I sold on my channel over the past year, and I sold hundreds of books, could easily be pressed and cleaned. I don't do that. I don't have time for that stuff. I mean, come on. I don't have time to sit there and clean every back covers and press every book. Does it make a difference between a book being, whether a book is a 7.5 and it can press up to a 9, the price can go up from $5 to $10? Who cares? Who cares? The next person that owned the book, whoever that bought the book from me, if they want to press, go to town. I don't have time to waste on those books. So it's okay. I don't mind buying books from people that press. If I do mind, if it was a lousy pressing job that damaged the book. And I have had that. I have bought books from eBay before where immediately I can tell that the book was pressed poorly. It pisses me off. Yes. Not because the pressing was not disclosed. I was pissed off because whoever it was a jackhole in doing a pressing job that was so poor. I'm just like, what kind of idiot did this? Are you 5 years old? Don't you know what you're doing? Why would you ruin a book like this? So yeah, it has happened a few times where the moment I open the book out of the bag, I'm just like, someone jacked up this book. I couldn't tell from the picture, but with the book in hand, I can tell.
Why can't I just buy armor right away?
Paco Rizzo said, I did underrated FF49. Yes, I did that underrated FF49. The funny thing is, for those that follow my channel, yes, I put out a lot of videos. Okay, I put out a lot. Daily, almost. And believe it or not, that video, underrated book, was shot 4 months ago.
Hello.
Insane. Long time ago.
Hello.
I have 30, 40, 50 videos in my hard drive. Okay, so I can pick and choose something I want to load and just do it. And it just happened that I load the FF49 book, and then of course the Fox and Disney deal, all that stuff, and then it blows up. But so it's not me. It had nothing to do with me. I can't take credit for blowing up FF49, but it's just coincidence that, you know, I decided to pull that book from the database. You know, I joke about this all the time, that you know, I can VooFlix YouTube by dropping like 10 video in one day, but I'm saving you guys from having to deal with that. You don't want to see me drop 13 episodes on YouTube at the same time, because I can't. Trust me, I can do it, you know, and it will be just like, my God, does this man have too much free time or not? Yeah, so it's funny to see how crazy the price of Fantastic Four, I mean, across the board, okay? Fantastic Four, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's crazy. Even the book that was thought dead, like FF45, all the Inhuman stuff, are coming back to life. They boom, and then they crash hard after the show bomb, and now they are coming back to life as well. Eric said, I don't mind binge watching. You might not mind, but some people might say, enough already. I will VooFlix you. I will VooFlix you and drop 13 episodes. No, I have, for those who don't know me, once again, I did work pretty hard through May, June, and July. Okay, I did work pretty hard, almost full time. But prior to that, not much. The past 3 weeks, the past 2 weeks, nothing. Okay, so I have a lot of free time. I can sit down and shoot 3 videos a day easily. Okay, so imagine having a week of doing nothing and shooting 3 videos a day. Trust me, I can accumulate 30 videos easily, and I do. I have so many, it's insane. You know, I can VooFlix it and drop 13 episodes of something, and people be like, enough already. Nick, the check is in the mail. Please upload. Micronaut #1 is under. Believe it or not, I still have I have 4 more videos in the vault for underrated Silver Age book. I think 4 or 5. I shot like 10, and I think I loaded 5. I think so I still get like 5 left, and then I'm moving on to Bronx. Okay, so Bronx will be the next underrated series that's come after I finish loading all the Silver Age stuff. Anyhow, it's 7:59. 1 more minute before I turn into a pumpkin, as some people will say, and then bid you farewell. CC, I survived. I lasted 1 hour. I yapped for 1 hour. Yes, I can. I'm back, baby. Nick, give us tips on how to haggle. I will try and get this done real quick before I go, okay? My best tip is bundle. Okay, trying to bundle as much as you can, even if it requires you bundling with a friend. Don't go up there with one book and trying to haggle. Trying to go up there with 3 to 4 to a stack. The bigger the stack, the better the bundling and the better you can haggle. And at the same time, don't lowball. To me, I don't try to go lower than 20% of the offering. So if I bundle a bunch of books, I try to get 20% off, and cross my finger that the dealer is not going to be offended at my 20% discount. We'll see, but that's in general. But give or take, it has to be what kind of books. Okay, you're not going to get 20% off on keys. Okay, if I'm a dealer, I'm not going to sell a keys 10% below asking price, unless my asking price is whack, right? So that's another story. Paco Rizzo, before I go, last question here. Give us the next hot book. I don't know. I mean, all the news of the movie Black Mask. I don't even know what the book is for Black Mask with the DC movie. He's supposed to be the villain for the Gotham Siren or whatever. I don't know, but Black Mask, that would be. But to me, FF books, Silver Surfer 1, still underrated, okay, compared to many other FF related books, because to me, Silver Surfer, it's crazy as FF 48 and 49 has been. I think Silver Surfer still have room to run. Good night. Bye-bye. I'm out.